Are you thinking that you might need to take guardianship of a child? My name is Carl Birkhead. I've been a family lawyer in Tulsa, Oklahoma. I've been doing family law for about 7 years. I'm with Wirth Law Office, and I want to help you understand what a guardianship is, the different types of guardianships, and how they can get dissolved. A guardianship is basically when you are stepping in on behalf of the parent and assuming custody of a child to make sure that the child is cared for, their health and well-being is protected. You do not get custodial rights. You are not the parent. The parent keeps their rights as far as legally being the parent of these kids, but just as a day-to-day type thing, you are the one that has physical custody of the child. You are the one who's making those decisions for the child. You are the one that is, taking them to school, enrolling them in sports, taking them to the doctor, things like that. You have all the responsibilities of a parent. A guardianship can happen one of two ways. You can either have a situation where a parent consents that a guardianship is needed. Basically, the parent is saying, I'm not in a good place. I really need you to take my kid for a little bit. Let me go to rehab. Let me, get my head on straight. It's never meant, no guardianship is ever meant to be permanent. Guardianships by their nature are meant to be temporary. The only difference really comes down to how long those guardianships stay in place. So if the parent's consenting to the guardianship, we're hoping that it's going to be a relatively quick turnaround. The parent's going to be able to come back. Those guardianships are dissolved or ended when that parent withdraws their consent. Basically says, yeah, I said this was okay. I'm no longer saying it's okay. Bring my child back. By statute, that's how the guardianship is ended in those cases. The other type is a guardianship of necessity. This is something where if you're on the outside of a situation looking in, you're saying, man, these kids aren't really taken care of. They're not being fed. They're being mistreated. Abuse might be involved. It is necessary for us to take care of these kids, to remove them from this situation, and to become their guardians. That requires a finding of the court specifically listing out what conditions were wrong that made the guardianship necessary. If it's drug use, domestic violence, abuse, neglect, things like that. Those are the conditions that made the guardianship necessary to be put in place. If a parent wants to, on the back end, get that guardianship dissolved, the parent has to show that they've corrected those conditions. So if drug abuse is a problem, they have to show that they've gone to rehab and successfully graduated. They have to show that they're going to NA and AA meetings, things like that. If it's domestic violence, anger management, or counseling, they have to show that the conditions that made the guardianship necessary no longer exist. If you find yourself in a situation where you think that you need to become the guardianship of a child, whether it's because a parent has reached out and asked you or because you think that a situation requires it, please feel free to call us. You can reach me at Wirth Law Office. My name is Carl Birkhead, and I'm happy to help. Thank you.